Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Buonasera. Welcome to ESC Fan TV and our review and preview of the first half of the songs in this year's Festival di San Remo. And I am delighted to be joined by a truly international panel. From Edinburgh, we have Ian and Donna.
Hi, everyone.
All the way from New York and her very first time on the show. So welcome, Lena. Lena, you need to unmute and say hi.
Ciao.
It's just like Eurovision in Rome. From Florence, we're delighted to be joined by the fan club president from Italy, Cristina.
Ciao.
Buonasera, Cristina. Thank you very much for joining us. It's not as if San Remo isn't long enough without an hour of us lot talking, but we're also joined from the Yorkshire Riviera by Phil and Michelle.
Hello.
Now, one of you is a Eurovision virgin, I think, for San Remo, possibly both.
No, we both did it last year, just one
Oh,
show.
did you? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
With you, Andy.
Well, there you go. Right, we're going to crack on. We've got 13 songs to talk about, and we're going to take them in more or less random. I'm going to come to random people, but starting with the first song of the night, Arisa, Potevi fare di più, I could do more. And we're going to start with Lena. How did the opening number go down for you?
Oh, I thought it was a very good opening. I thought she looked amazing. I was going to give her my Best Nails award until Aiello came out. Sorry. I love her voice. It just sometimes it wasn't, if it had maybe been in a different place in the running order, it would have not stood out to me. But I really do like her. I think she's very lovely.
And what did you think of the styling, Michelle?
Was it? Oh, I liked her red suit and her long talons. Well, I can't read what I've written now. But I thought she looked quite striking. She stood out because in this Eurovision season already, we've had a lot of people just wearing black and it's all been dark and horrible. I thought she really stood out from the crowd.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was the metal tube on the back of her head though. It was like
Yeah.
It was like a microphone that got lost.
Maybe it's the plug into the Matrix.
Cristina, Arisa, she won in 2014. Quite a different song to this one, though.
Yeah, really a different song. And to be honest, I think I should do more this time because Arisa has a very, how do you say, a can do anything. And I don't think this song did her justice. She can do really more. I love her as a singer, and I would love to see her at the I know she loves.
Cristina, I'm so sorry. We're having connection problems. It's just like the Eurovision of the 1980s and 90s. At the moment, we can't really hear you. So I'm going to move on to Ian and Donna for the final word on Arisa.
Yeah, I liked Arisa actually. I thought she was very good at opening the show, and nobody wants this, well, at least for Eurovision anyway, more than Arisa does. And I felt sorry for her last year because she developed a cold, didn't she? And her voice was not as strong on the night when she had a fantastic song. And this one very mellow compared to that one, which was very poppy. So a gentle start to the evening's proceedings, but a nice one, I thought. She gave it a very good job. But yes, I was expecting a hair extension, to come out of that tube, and I was like, where's it gone? Or has someone actually just pulled it off before she's gone on stage?
Yeah.
Well, she gets two
like
more
the hairstylist forgot something.
Yeah.
She's got two more chances to refine her look ready for Saturday night. Moving on now to song number 2. I'm going to have to read this. I'm sorry. Colapesce and Dimartino, musica leggerissima. It's easy listening or light music. Who wants to have a go on that one? Phil and Michelle. Did this do it for you?
I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can tell you what I thought of it. I thought that it looked a bit casual in the suits. I wasn't keen. I know they were odd colours, but I just thought they looked a little bit too casual for Eurovision. And the dance move was like, do you remember when Britney Spears went on the telly and just went sort of thing? They just sort of half-arsed sort of did it. They were the Gary Barlow of San Remo last night. And I thought everything about it was casual. I thought the singing was casual as well. But when they sang together, it was better than when that bloke sang on his own. I thought when he sang on his own, it was awful. It's like somebody must have heard it before and said, no, don't do that, mate. And he went, no, I'm going to do it. But I just thought it was all just a bit too laid back and a bit casual.
Well, I quite liked it, though. It was a nice enough song. I mean, I don't know if it'd stand out that well, but I thought it was quite pleasant, yeah.
Ian and Donna.
Yeah, it was good. It's just I think it's a little bit gentle.
Yeah, perhaps it felt a little bit more like a rehearsal than a final performance for me, this one. And the song itself didn't feel, it needed more oomph, was I think my note for this one. Just a bit more oomph, because you can see a connection there between the two of them, but it didn't gel with me. I couldn't think of what was missing for this, and something felt like something was missing. I'm not sure. So yes, definitely has potential. We've got a few more days yet and a few more tries to go. So, but I like the suits actually. It seems pastels are in this season, doesn't it? You know, this is going to be our fresh spring vibe, maybe.
I very much enjoyed it, but the guitar part at the beginning is lifted straight from "We Are the People" by Empire of the Sun, the famous Australian hit song from a few years ago. And
That's why I recognise that.
yeah, it's not on, really. It's not on. Lena, did you enjoy it?
One might not have made it over here. You know, my problem with this one is my problem with this one is, you know, me and Donna were following some of the press stuff beforehand, and the hype on this was just so high. Everyone was talking about it and how like profound it was, and it was like this like really got very excited for it. And then it just kind of seemed like the retro vibe was fun, but then there was like, it just felt kind of low energy. And I don't know if was very much like an artifice they put on. It's part of the shtick that goes with the song in particular. Because I feel like when Roller Skate Lady came out, she was on another energy level than like everybody else. So, you know, I'm interested to see it again. But it was definitely, that was like, because I'd heard so much about it, it was a slight disappointment.
Christina, are they popular in Italy? And if so, what's their style?
Okay, can you hear me now, first of all?
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, good. That's great. Okay, so they are quite popular, but not, how can I say, among young people, but not everyone knows them. So this is a very, very good occasion for them to let everyone listen to their music. And I must say, I like the song, but I found it quite, simple. You know, it's really amusing, and I enjoyed it. And the girl with the, oh my God, the girl, and she was, typical 80s in Italy, you know. And that was I think that was the mood they wanted to create with the girl.
Right. We're going to move on now to the first of the big male ballads, and a song that I think possibly sounds just a little bit too much like Fare Amore for its own good. A song by Aiello. The song is called Ora, which translates as now. And here he is on the screen. Lena, did this do it for you?
I'm going to say I think this is going to be the hottest take I have of the evening, because I absolutely loved it. No one else did but me, apparently. I thought it was a huge song. I do think I like him. I like his voice a lot, and he does just sound a bit gravelly like that. I do think the last third of the song went a bit off the rails, because it's like a huge moment. He's never been at San Remo before, so I'm very excited to see it again. I listened to the music video this morning. I thought it sounded very good. I do wish in the summer he had these really great, when he performed at like the Theater Verona, he had this sweater that was a full sweater and then just an open back, like no back sweater. So I really was waiting for maybe like a little bit of a more out there fashion moment instead of the jacket he had. But I thought he looked very good. I thought his earrings were amazing. And yeah, I was loving it.
Maybe he's saving it for later in the week. Christina, is there? How do you pronounce it for a start? Aiello?
Aiello.
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 Mm-hmm. And how did it go down for you?
It's a very good song. He reminded me a bit of Marco Mengoni. Everything, the look, the song, and it's a pity he really got too much carried away in the end. So he ended up shouting, and I think he should take it a little bit easier. And but it's a good song, and it's hi Fabrizio.
Exactly.
That's nice. It's a really good song. I think the second listening will be a lot better. I agree with Lena. I want to hear it again.
So Donna, he came 13th in the first round of voting. Tell us how it works in a brief sentence.
Oh God, complicated, the voting. These first few nights really for the big artists or the champions, as they translate as, tends to be just like the opinion poll. Thursday night is a special evening in itself, and then that will be the orchestra. Friday night, we have a jury vote, essentially, like we would have at Eurovision. We have the jury final, and then you have the final. And then all the different opinion polls, the press votes, and the public televotes all come together on the Saturday. So there's potential to gain votes all the way along. This particular night, with the first look at all of them, second night same, we just get the opinion polls, the demoscopic jury.
Phil, was this a song that did it for you at all?
No, it wasn't my cup of tea at all. Didn't like it at all. I think I agreed with the posters of this one. I did like his earrings. It looked like he'd got a whole Christmas tree worth of ornaments on his ears, but not keen on the song.
I thought he looked better than he sang. I mean, he just sounded like somebody that needed a hug. And it's, it's just like...
I think there was one or two, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what had happened to him that day or what had gone on, but he just needed a hug.
Okay.
It felt like he was trying too hard, didn't it, in a sense?
Yeah,
he started off really well and then ramped it up. And but he does have a bit of a style like that as well. Like Fabrizio, he's got this gravelly kind of voice that when he just adds a bit of power to it, it's like, yeah. So,
but then you see,
I think he started too high. He started at the top of the mountain and then could not climb the mountain. So hopefully next time he'll start halfway up the mountain.
It wasn't even singing, shouting. It was just, get out of my pub sort of shouting.
There's more of that coming later in the running order. A complete contrast. Michelle, I'm going to come to you. I've got a feeling you might have enjoyed Max Gazzè and his song, The Chemist.
Well, where's Max? There he is. There he is. I found him. Oh, what was not to like about that? Hey, that was bloody brilliant. It made it worthwhile. I'm going to put my glasses on again so that I can see. I think his song was called The Pharmacist, and quite frankly, I think he looked like somebody that had taken quite a lot of pharmaceuticals, so I think it was quite an apt song. But I like the way that the cardboard band had proper microphones in front of them, as if they were just magically going to start singing. And it was just like bonkers, the attention to detail. But I thought he sounded like, I thought I heard Rick Wakeman at one point on the organ behind him. And it was just, everything about it was nostalgic. It just taken lots of bits of 70 songs and just chucked them all in one and thought, yeah, that'll do, let's do this. And then dressed up bonkers and just enjoyed himself.
Yeah, it looked like either a medieval alchemist or a wizard or something.
Yeah, it reminded me of Malcolm McNeil and I See a Star, which is one of my favourite Eurovision songs.
Ah,
But yeah, it was.
it's something you're not going to forget in a hurry.
Yeah.
If you think at the end of the night, who do you remember?
Christina, is this a serious singer or a comedian? Or tell us a little bit about him.
He's a serious singer and he's a multi-talent. He is also an actor. He does lots of things. And his lyrics are always very, very clever, always very deep. And what I liked about him last night, he was not just dressed up as Leonardo da Vinci. He was playing the character. If you noticed, when he came into the stage, how he moved, how he walked, it was just playing the character. And that was wonderful. I think he is. I think he's one of our best. Well, not really singers, because okay, he has a good voice, but nothing special. But best songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
He is really.
Do you think a song like this, that's quite immediate, can win, having come 8th on the first night?
Well, I think that if you think about the Eurovision, you would lose the meaning of the lyrics. It's not that easy, I mean, to understand that. And that's the main thing with his songs. It would work because from the visual point of view, okay, it hits you, but nothing more than that. I would love to bring him to Eurovision, but I'm not sure about the result.
Lena, first of all, what time is it in New York?
Great question. What time is it? 2:20? 2:20. It is 2:20 in the afternoon. So this is a great thing. One of the few times that as an American Eurovision or Italian music fan that I actually win is the time zone with San Remo. Because I mean, it was 7 o'clock last night and I was like, oh, I'm going to go have a nice dinner and like continue the rest of my evening after having watched all of it. Yeah, I'm definitely like a Max Susa? Sorry. I'm a Max Gazzè fan. I think he's very cool. I wasn't completely sold on the cardboard cutouts when he came out. I wasn't quite sure, but then when he turned around and it had the crystal Da Vinci, like a sports jersey on the back, that was a huge turning point for me. I love the way he uses synthesizers, and I think he was a very good example of bringing in some vocal distortion that really added to the song, like Madame did as well. That when we get to Fasma, we can get into that. We want to talk about too much vocal distortion.
Indeed. Now we're coming on to the song that came second in the first round of voting. A song called Licini, I think. It translates as Wisteria, and it was sung by Noemi. Yeah. Ian and Donna, how did you feel about this song?
Well, I always have mixed opinions about Noemi. She's a very good singer, though. I can't take that away from her. And she did amazingly well, I thought, to step in when Irama should have been in that slot. If people don't actually know, he had some of his members tested positive for coronavirus. So he had to step out of this. And I think he has to isolate at the minute. But there are still ways that he'll be in the competition. We can cover that tomorrow. Yeah, her song was lovely, actually. A little bit too gentle for my taste. But I thought she had a real power with that on stage as well. So without actually looking at the lyrics, it translated well to me, but it wasn't as dynamic as I wanted it to be, I think.
Noemi has been in the contest a few times, I believe. Is that right, Christina? How's she coming across this year?
Difficult to say. I mean, the song is very good. Not really my favorite type of song, but I recognize it's very good. And I like her song more than Annalisa's. So if you ask me, Noemi could end up very high, but you know, there could be lots of surprises because you never know. I mean, she ended up second yesterday, but if you remember, Mahmood on the first night was very, very low. So we'll see. I would prefer another type of song to win. I'm not really into ballads, but it's good. I recognize it. It's very good. And you pronounce it glicine.
Glicine. And I think it translates as wisteria.
Wisteria, yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to read the lyrics, find out what it's about.
Yeah.
We're going to move on now. Madame Voce. I know that means voice. And Lena. This was quite different in style to the ballads of the evening. Did this one go down well with you?
Yes, extremely. This, I would say, on this particular semifinal night was my number one song I was excited for. I thought it could be really massive, and I thought it was. I thought she looked amazing. I thought the song was very powerful. I thought she delivered it well. I liked the glitter suit. I liked the fit. It wasn't like just overly feminine. But the mesh tie, there are pieces of it. I made this monster Italian rap chart.
Oh, wow.
Research for this event.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Realizing that Marrakesh is the key. And Marrakesh's girlfriend is Elodie. And if you go with Elodie, so you can see Madame has had a lot of collaborations recently with some really famous people. Stardust was one of the writers on the song. And she also did a song with Aiello, our buddy from earlier. And had a huge song with Gali this summer as well, who I also love. So her rise in the past couple of years, you could say, has been pretty meteoric. So very, very excited for her. She completely delivered for me.
Oh, that chart is absolutely fantastic. That must have taken you all day.
I'll post a photo on the internet later.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Michelle, have you got anything to show us? I didn't mean it like that.
What? Like what?
Like a chart.
Oh, right. No.
No.
No. I liked a suit. It was very shiny. I like shiny things. But what was with the weird glove sort of thing going on? And the weird distorted vocoder thing again. It's like, every time I hear one, it just reminds me of when Kanye West released that really bad album of him trying to sing. And it's just like, just stop using them. But then I was in the car today and I had Radio 1 on, which is for the youth by accident. And the song came on and they're using a vocoder in the song. And I thought, blimey, it's proper up to date. The youth are listening to this sort of thing. So that sort of puts a spin on it. It must apparently be quite modern. It had parts that I sort of liked, but I didn't like the what was it? I can't. What?
So you didn't like the auto-tune?
Oh yeah. It's just the auto-tune just puts me off. Just sing your song properly.
Proper old-fashioned we are.
Yeah.
There was a lot of auto-tune. I was surprised how much auto-tune there was on the night, not just with this song, but others as well.
Yeah.
It turns out that it's bang up to date. Who'd have thought it?
Yeah.
Ian, have you worked with singers live using auto-tune?
Not really. No. I mean, most of the live sound I do is in theatre, where we're looking for it to be as natural as possible. So any kind of auto-tuning stuff is not a thing. It's not a style I particularly like. It can be done very creatively. If it works with a song and it's done creatively, it works. But I think there's too much of it. There's an awful lot of little bits, and you can do it live with same for the competition, but it can go horribly wrong.
And I heard a rumor that if you upset the sound engineer, so Gemini might possibly have done in Riga, that they can put a pitch distortion into your in-ear, and then in the middle of the song, you hear yourself coming back at the wrong pitch, and you go out of key. Would that be a thing?
I couldn't possibly comment, but it would certainly screw up a singer. The other trick you could do is put a slight delay in, so they still sing in tune, but not necessarily in time.
Oh.
That's much harder to spot if you've done that to someone. Just saying.
Right. Right, we're going to move on to the next song, Silent and Empty, Zitti e Buoni, by Måneskin. I think we might have something to say about this, and I'm going to start with Lena because she's got a hand up.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just, again, like, I like the look of them a lot. I think they're so cool. They're so great. Their last album, I just feel like some of their songs, I wanted them to get like kicked up a notch when they do. The main singer has this very like emotional voice, and I feel like sometimes their songs are like just a little more slow tempo than I want for like a rock band. And they showed up massive performance. It was the only one at the end of it when there wasn't an audience. I was like sad because there's like two people clapping. I was like, no, this was it. This was the one. And I will say, I know like San Remo is its own thing. We talk about it, and then we talk about Eurovision sort of separately. But I mean, I do think this at Eurovision could also go down huge. So.
It could indeed. Christina, an orchestra with heavy metal. It worked, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It worked very, very well. My God. And, you know, as soon as I heard them, I said, okay, give them the trophy for me. It's all right. I must say, I heard a song on the radio some hours ago, and it works a lot better live, really. But okay, with rock, it's normal. But the orchestra, my God, the orchestra with the rock band was great. To me, I suppose they are my winners. I will see tonight, but well, it's difficult to find something better for me.
They certainly shook the night up, didn't they, Phil and Michelle? What did you think?
Well, you were saying about rock and an orchestra. Well, Metallica did S&M Live with who was it? San Francisco Philharmonic, and that's a fantastic album. It really does marry really well. But I loved this. When the second it came on, I loved the lighting. I loved the staging of it. I loved what they were wearing. I loved the fact they had a shiny lady bass player who she looked really cool and smart, but with like oozing sex as well at the same time, which you don't often get in a rock band. It's, you know, they normally look a bit icky, don't they? You don't want to touch them. But I thought this was brilliant. I thought it was a decent rock sound, and the bass line on it was super funky as well. If you listen to the bass on it, it's a really cool, nice bass line on it. I absolutely loved it. I was slightly drunk by this point now.
It was good, and it wasn't the sort of thing you could say, oh yeah, that sounds exactly like something else. It was a sort of a unique rock sound.
Yeah.
The only thing I wasn't sure about was the guy's black lipstick. I think he made him look a bit like the guy out of Little Big, but apart from that, it was good.
I really liked it.
This came seventh. I was astonished. I really thought that this would have had the top of the leaderboard.
Oh, so did I. Can I just say they were robbed? Like they really were robbed. The performance was stunning on the night, and you know, it gave you the atmosphere that you wanted. And I think some of them have suffered a little bit with, again, the no audience thing. That you always seem to get this little flatness sometimes, because although they had obviously the technicians and Aiello, they've got the booth. There's various people in the auditorium to boost them on. It's not the same. And do you know what? They just gave it everything. Damo really rocked that black outfit, the black, the silver, the sequins, everything. Fantastic. A very glam look as well. But heavier rock than they usually do, but it's still in their style. I loved it. I would like to see this much higher. So hopefully a televote might bring it up in the later stages.
Yeah, I thought it was bloody brilliant. The lack of audience, they didn't care. They just didn't give a shit. They just went for it. Absolutely, just like full throttle, and it was brilliant. Yeah, that is a wake up call to the other ones. They really need to make sure their performances are on point for this one, because there's some serious competition.
Okay, one of the serious competition comes from Francesca Michielin, who represented Italy at Eurovision in 2016, and she's come back with Fedez and Chiamami per nome, call me by my name. Christina.
Okay. I must say I didn't recognize Francesca at first. She got short hair. Oh my god! I thought it's a nice song, but somehow it doesn't really start. I mean, you are always waiting for something more to happen, and okay, it's really nice, well performed, but it's something like mid-pole for me. And he got very emotional, and okay, he was really. I suppose it was his first time on the San Remo stage, so we can understand.
The song was co-written by Mahmoud, and to me, it sounded like a Mahmoud song, and I sort of wanted him there singing it, and I wondered whether he decided it wasn't quite good enough for him. Lena, did you think it was good enough for Mahmoud just to be singing? We lost Lena in New York at the moment, so I'm going to throw that one over.
Oh, did you? I missed the name. Well, Mahmoud was a songwriter for a long time. I feel like his record company kind of buried him in that position for a long time before he really had to, he spent a lot of effort bringing himself out, and now he is out, and we love him so much. But I will, the rhythm of the rap in particular, it was like, oh yeah, it's Mahmoud song. I thought Francesca looked great with the very severe hair. I thought it was very good. I know Fedez is a huge star. See, by the size of his bubble, but he got lost a little bit. But again, I kind of, because they are both so famous, and Francesca is like Eurovision royalty at this point, I was a little bit like ready to hate on them, but then I thought it was quite nice. So.
And Michelle and Phil, you remember Mahmoud. First of all, is it the sort of style of music that you like? And did you like this song?
Well, I didn't mind the song, but there was nothing really memorable about it. I think if this won, because it was the favourite, if this won and went to Eurovision, it would just get swamped. It would just be lost. But what was with the toilet roll? What's with the bog roll? What's going on there? Are they just proving that when everyone's gone out, robbing all the shops of all the toilet roll, but they've got plenty at their house? They're just asking to get burgled while they're there on Thursday or Friday doing this, aren't they? They're just, but auto-tune again, which I wasn't keen on. But I don't like it when you get couples on stage and they start going like this and sort of staring at each other. It creeps me out. It's weird. People don't do that in real life. It does something. It just makes me, oh. Do you remember when Benjamin Ingrosso turned around and he went like that, and it just sends shivers down your spine? Oh, I've got goosebumps now going, oh. It's that sort of feeling. I just thought it was creepy.
Do we take it that you didn't like the Flames in Their Eyes, Fiamme negli Occhi by Comicose in that case?
Mm-mm.
No, that was the key. That was the couple, wasn't it? It was just
that was a couple.
Oh yeah, no, that's awful. Stop it. It's bad. The only time it's acceptable is when the woman at Eurovision threw a shoe at that bloke. Then you can do it. If you don't throw your shoe at him, don't be staring like that at people. It's creepy.
Neil Fulcher says, I thought it was to make sure they had to stand 2 meters apart. Yeah, indeed. Now, talking of Neil, who's very often joins us, Ian, who else have we got in the chat room this evening?
Okay.
There's a few folk in tonight. Bring us up. Neil's been coming up. Lena, we think you have a fan.
Yeah. Elliot's got a rivalry.
James also saying it's nice that we have folk from someone from Italy itself. But yeah, there's quite a few folk posting in. It's so we're going fairly agreeing overall. There's plenty of similar agreement with what we've been saying. But yeah,
keep those comments coming in, people.
And don't forget to vote at thementi.com. The number is coming across the bottom of the screen just now.
Because we're as bad as Stuart, because we always forget. Look at the link below. 5908 377.
Yes.
And make sure you ding a dong our bell so we can notify you of all future live streams. We're going to move on. I don't know where we are now. I mean, 13 songs is nothing by San Remo standards. But let's carry on with the flames in their eyes. Come cose, Christina.
Okay, this is another premiere on the San Remo stage. They are a couple, and they are very loved by young people. So it's just like Colapesce and Dimartino. It was the first attempt to get to a broader audience. I like the song. It's very simple. It's quite, I don't know, it was something like a country guitar at the beginning, and then it got different. But it's, I think it's the kind of song you would hear on the radio, and you would love to hear on the radio. Not sure about a good result in San Remo. It's nice, but it's okay, nothing more than that.
Slightly reminded me of Calm After the Storm, particularly in the way that
the way they were looking at each other, that way one before the other, and yes, that was the common limits.
Yeah, common limits. Exactly. We missed another song out, and it was Perfect Moment, Momento Perfetto by Remo. I put down it's a quirky performance of a lounge jazz song in the style of, and I can't remember who the style. I've been trying to remember all evening who it reminds me of, so somebody else might come up with the answer. Phil and Michelle, did you like this one?
No. It sounded like he was singing a different song to what the orchestra was playing.
It's like Vic Reeves. You have to sort of guess what he's singing.
And what was with his suit with the spray painted checks on it that he'd only done the front of it and not done the back?
That really did annoy me. That really did annoy him.
You could at least done the back side of it as well.
Yeah, if you're going to turn around, make sure
But no, it just seemed a bit all over the place to me. I wasn't really sure what was going on. It was like he couldn't get the words in fast enough for how fast the song was going.
Told you, see, that's the problem with songs that have got too many words in them. You struggle with.
Well, we got into trouble on that one, didn't we, once before? So we won't spend any more time talking about too many words in a song. I wasn't quite sure who the audience for a song like this was, but I'm gonna guess it wasn't Lena.
Okay.
What did you think of the song?
I like him. I think it's very funny that last time he was on San Remo, I forget if it was 2 years ago or longer, he had a shaved head, and then this time he comes out with like the actual biggest hair. I thought it was quite nice. I love a jazzy brass moment. So he was the only one kind of bringing brass to me tonight, so I really like that. But I felt from a little bit, because let's recall, there was the gauntlet of, after Noemi was the actually Loro segment, and then Madame, and then Måneskin, and then Kevin had to go after that, kind of like glam rock segment, kind of doing a jazzy trumpet number. But I thought it was quite nice. So
we're nearing the end now. The song that went on in 11th place came first in the demoscopic jury. See, I've got that right. Annalisa, 10. And there she is. Phil and Michelle, your favourite?
It was all a bit breathy, wasn't it?
I'm sort of like the outfit. I mean,
really?
Yeah. There's a lot of double-sided tape involved in that outfit, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not quite so sure about the song. It was okay. It was a nice song, but crikey,
it was just a bit dull for the ladies that aren't into that sort of thing.
I think the outfit may have done us some favours in the voting.
Jesus, Phil, all right, calm down.
Well, I didn't think the song was that good. It was all right, but it wasn't the best one of the night, is what I'm saying.
Phil was listening with his eyes. Christina, it obviously went down very well in Italy. What did you think?
Yes, it will. As I said before, it's not really my kind of music, but I am sure she will. Well, She might even win the competition, I think, and she will. She will be very, very popular with everyone in Italy because she's really loved by people, and I'm sure this will be one of this year's hits. As I said, I prefer Noemi's ballad this year, but it's a nice one as well.
And if our viewers want to vote for it, they've got a couple of minutes left. And Ian, how do they do that?
Go to menti.com and I will bring up the little banner with the number again because I haven't written it down, so I have to read it off the screen again. Go to menti.com, enter the code 5908377, and you can rank them in the same voting order that you would at Eurovision itself, and we will reveal the results at the end of the show. There's not long left to vote, so get those votes in now.
Right, we've got an angry man singing coming up now. Francesca Regna, Quando trovi te? When I find you. Did he find you, Lena?
I'm sorry, he did not. I wrote, meh, this song is okay, but this is not a great rendition of it. I will say, I really loved this semifinal in total. There were no songs I disliked. I really did like the core of all the songs. And almost every year, there's always like 2 or 3 songs that I'm just like, I could skip this for the rest of my life and I don't need to hear it again. So yeah, I mean, it was late in the night. He kind of does his shtick. His shtick is his shtick. He's very popular. Just like I was going to mention really quickly, like with Annalisa, she's so beautiful. She's so popular. I do feel like all her songs sound the same. And I feel the same way about Renga. Apologies to fans.
Did very well, came 5th at the end of the first night. Michelle, bit angry for you?
Oh, I didn't much care for what he was wearing, or the staging, or the song.
There's somebody else who needs a hug, I think.
There's a lot of people needing hugs this year.
Yeah, maybe he's just social distance has got to him. I don't know. But
Christina, did you
play a lot as well? Like a lot.
What does that mean? Does it mean hug?
Christina, did he come 5th because of his popularity or because of the song, do you think?
I think it was because of his popularity, because this song is quite different from his usual standard. And I must say, I'm the only one who liked it more than his usual songs. Everyone I talked to said, oh no, this wasn't really his cup of tea, but I liked it because it changes a lot. It's not the usual ballad. And he has a powerful voice, a very beautiful voice. The first time he went to San Remo, he was in a band, in an alternative rock band, and he was singing very different kind of songs, and his voice was incredible. It was miles better than today. And I think, well, he didn't sing well yesterday, but I think when we listen to the song for the second time, it will be very different.
The good thing about San Remo is that you get to hear the songs at least 3 times during the course of the week, and you grow to love them. By the night of the final, they're all a personal favourite. Ian and Donna, what about this one?
Yeah.
I think this was a wee bit of a misfire on the night, and I do hope it will improve. I think it will be better for when we get to later in the week. It just didn't quite seem together with the orchestra. It just didn't gel. He didn't look overly happy with it at the end either. I think he was got the kind of feeling that he wasn't very happy with his performance. It just didn't click on the night. I don't think there's anything bad about the song. It's just not. It just there's better songs and better performances in there in last night's show. So but I think he's got the experience and the talent to kick that up and come back stronger.
Yeah.
And reclaim ground on that.
His vocals are very distinct one, and so it can be you either love it or you hate it. Though that's the thing with Renga, and he's got a really nice style, but it doesn't suit everyone. He's quite nasally, I think, sometimes. And how many times do you want to say sempre in a song? I'm yet to count them all. I've not looked at the lyrics yet, but I'm working on it. It's up there with the Lars, so we'll see. We'll see how many sempres he ends up by the end. But no, it's quite catchy. I just don't, as Ian said, I don't think it was actually his night last night. So he'll knock it up a gear and see. But obviously the demoscopic jury actually agreed with it.
Mm-hmm. The final song of the night, and an awful lot of heavy breathing going on in this song. Parlarmi, Talk to Me. How did that go down for you, Lena?
Okay, so as you'll see on the chart, I really love Italian hip hop and rap. I can't really tell you why, but I just do. I'm a big fan. So just like kind of like the style and the swagger of it, and some of the things they talk about more than American rap songs that are just sort of like, a little bit basic at this point. But I wanted to like it so much. I was so excited for him. And then, unlike other people who I feel like used a little vocoder, a little distortion, the full vocoder with the whole song was just a bit of a disappointment for me, because I know he can do better than that. And I know he became so popular, got so many streams of his song from the New Proposals last year. So, I don't know. But also, the rap scene is all about having friends and doing collaborations. And you'll see, I had to put Fasma on the Make Some Friends island because he got no friends. He got no hot collabs. So, I hope he's got some sweet mixtape or something coming out soon, and he can make some friends and not use vocoder all the time. Thank you very
much. Christina, I wanted to ask you, we've had vocoder on a number of the songs. It also sounded as if there was some pre-recorded backing vocals, although we did see one or two backing vocal singers. Mm-hmm. Did you spot any pre-recorded vocals this year?
I'm really not sure. I saw that there were some backing vocals behind the orchestra. What I suppose, I doubt there were any backing vocals, because in San Remo you wouldn't do this. I suppose it came from the singers who were behind the orchestra. No, I'm not sure, but I really doubt there were recorded backing vocals.
And was this particular song a favourite of yours?
This particular song, well, too much auto-tune. It was auto-tune from the beginning to the end. He should try singing it without auto-tune. It's a good song. I think he can do better than this. And the auto-tune was really too much.
Yeah, I think that's the general opinion. If we had a fault in the evening, that there's too much auto-tune, possibly when it's not really needed, because all these singers, they know what they're doing. It's not as if San Remo is a place where you can get away with bad vocals. You just can't. So maybe it's just too much of following a trend.
That's it. We're just actually not used to it, I don't think. We're very used to a competition being very plain, very natural. And this is a style that is very popular now in the charts in a lot of countries throughout Europe. So it's understandable that it's going to come up with people's popularity. They're going to want to see it there. And you can see little bits creeping in to Eurovision and things as well. So not only are the 80s coming back in most countries this year, we've got a bit more of something contemporary as well. And I got to say, I agree with everyone else, though. I'm still an old-fashioned gal. And I said this last year, Andy. Anyone who speaks with false stuff all the way through their song, I know he's got a better voice than that. There's no need for it, in my opinion. And it sounded a lovely song underneath. So, I would like to see him present it without the style over the top, if you like.
Now,
oh dear.
Yeah.
Nice one, Neil.
At least know that Eurovision are not putting little perspex boxes off behind the brass section so you can't see them.
So far. Ian, I think you're going to draw a line under the Menti scoreboard, and whilst you get ready to show us the results, there were 4 songs that were not in the main competition. I thought they were really good. I thought the singers were great. I really wish they had been in contention. What did you guys think? I'm going to just throw the floor open to anybody who wants to give a quick mention to the 4 Giovanni. Donna.
1 and 4.
Yeah,
You like
absolutely. That was what Guadiano, and I couldn't remember the last chap's name, but he was really good. I actually felt sorry for
Fullcast?
Yeah, that was it. Fullcast. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential there, and I really quite like that song. Guadiano reminded me a little bit again of Marco Mengoni, and the 2 of them stood out, I think, above the 4. So it was a no-brainer for me that they went through.
We're coming to the end of this evening's show.
I thought Guadiano was very strong.
Yeah.
So we might see him on Saturday. Is it Saturday or Friday when the final of the Giovanni is announced?
That one's Friday.
Friday.
By Friday, we won't be looking quite as fresh as we may be doing now. And by Saturday, we'll be dead. But we're doing a live show. God knows.
We are for our sins, aren't we?
Yeah. As soon as San Remo finishes on Saturday night, we're on. Please join us. It will be the after show party. We may have had a glass of wine. It will have been Italian wine, like we're drinking this evening. But we'd love you to join us. Tonight, you're going to be able to see the final 13 songs, and we will be back on Thursday to really tell you what we thought of those. And
Friday, Andy.
Friday. Oh, Friday.
Yes.
Friday.
We have to have a little time off while we absorb the cover night.
While our livers recover.
Yeah.
Very, very true. And thank you so much to everybody in the chat room. Please join us again. And to finish today, let's just see how we did in the poll. Over to you, Ian.
Right, so we'll close the poll.
Oh, that's closed now. Lovely.
And
who have we voted for?
let's see who we voted for. As it rearranges itself.
Oh, look at that. Måneskin.
Måneskin.
Yeah, Måneskin got the most 69 points there. Madame is next with I can't read that either. It's too small.
Madame with 53. And third, Annalisa with 50 points.
Ooh, it's quite
quite a broad spread of numbers there, actually. The top 5 or 6 are actually fairly close together. So,
but Francesca's still down the bottom. Sorry, Renga, you need to do more.
Well, Francesca may be down at the bottom, but Mahmoud was down at the bottom at the end of the first night back in 2018. So anything can happen. And she did a lot better with the jury vote last night. So enjoy the rest of the evening. It will go on until the early hours of the morning again. We'll have another 13 songs to talk about later in the week. Thank you to my wonderful guests. It has been a ball, and we'll do it all again same time on Friday evening. Thank you very much. Good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.